Did WWE really have any other option left? That's the question every wrestling fan is asking after what went down at Saturday night's main event. For months, we've all been on the Jade Cargill roller coaster. The hype, the hope, the frustration, and finally, the payoff. We saw her debut. We saw the incredible physique, the unmatched confidence, the star aura that screamed future champion. And ever since she stepped foot in WWE, the question hung over everything she did. When are they finally going to pull the trigger on her push? When is Jade Cargill getting the rocket strapped to her back? But then, she started losing. Once, then again. Suddenly, the aura of invincibility she brought from her undefeated streak outside WWE started to fade. Fans began to wonder if WWE had already dropped the ball. What was the plan here? Were they building her up to fail? Or was there a bigger picture we couldn't see yet? Last night, in Salt Lake City, that bigger picture finally came into focus. WWE didn't just crown a new champion. They made a statement. They didn't simply give Jade Cargill the women's championship. They rebuilt the division around her. They used that match to anoint her as the unstoppable force we were promised from day one. This wasn't just a title win. It was a coronation, and honestly, it was the only move left that made sense. Let's talk about what went down at Saturday night's main event, and why this title change wasn't just justified, it was absolutely necessary for WWE to move forward. The path that led here, it's been strange, confusing, and at times frustrating to watch. Jade Cargill's chase for the women's championship started with big talk and big moments, but every time she went up against Tiffany Stratton, something went wrong. She'd dominate, get close, and then somehow lose. Fans were confused. How could someone with her presence, her momentum, her physical dominance, keep coming up short? Things got worse when WWE threw in a triple threat match involving Nia Jax, which ended with a botched finish that made everyone look bad. What was supposed to be Jade's unstoppable rise had turned into a storyline that was stalling out. The aura she had, that untouchable energy, started fading fast. But then, WWE pulled off one of the smartest pivots they've made in months. A few weeks ago the entire picture changed with one perfectly timed twist. Jade Cargill's heel turn. After weeks of frustration and failure, Jade snapped. She said something that instantly told us what direction this was going. Patience isn't rewarded. Power is. That line was the beginning of the new Jade Cargill era. Later that same night, she came down to the ring during an attack on Tiffany Stratton, pretending she was there to save her. The crowd popped. It looked like Jade was back to being the hero. But then, the twist. Jade turned on Tiffany, brutally attacking her and targeting her knee. She slammed it into the steel steps again and again until officials had to pull her off. It wasn't just a betrayal. It was an awakening. WWE finally unleashed the monster they'd been teasing since she arrived. That one segment completely reframed everything about her story. The next match between Jade and Tiffany wasn't just another championship bout. It became personal. It was about domination, about power, about proving who really ran the division. And when Saturday night's main event came around, we had backed itself into a corner. There was no way Jade could lose again. Not after that attack. Not after that promo. Not after turning into the company's top female villain, and WWE knew it. So they went all in. From the second that bell rang, this wasn't a wrestling match, it was a beating. A total demolition. Jade Cargill came out like a woman possessed, laser-focused on Tiffany Stratton's already injured knee. Now, to her credit, Tiffany refused to postpone the match, even though she was clearly not 100%. The story was that doctors had advised her against competing, but she went through with it anyway. That kind of babyface fire is what made fans respect her title reign. But let's be honest, this night wasn't hers. Jade dominated every single minute. She threw Tiffany around the ring with chokeslams, fallaway slams, powerbombs, the works. Every move looked meaner, stiffer, more aggressive than before. She wasn't wrestling to entertain, she was wrestling to destroy. And after a brutal 10-minute showcase, Jade hit the Jaded her finishing move. And just like that, it was over. 1, 2, 3. Jade Cargill was finally crowned as the new WWE Women's Champion. Now here's why this had to happen. Creatively, logically, and narratively. First of all, you can't book a heel like Jade, someone who's just attacked a champion, destroyed her knee, declared that power is everything, and then have her lose clean. It would have completely undermined everything about the character. Her entire motivation would have collapsed. That turn only mattered if she could prove she was right, that patience isn't rewarded. That power is. Second, Tiffany Stratton's title reign had honestly run its natural course. Don't get me wrong, 301 days as champion is impressive. She carried the division for almost a year, and did it with confidence and charisma. But after so many defenses against the same names, Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, Jade herself, the stories were starting to feel recycled. The feud needed a clear ending, a fresh start, and third, the timing. WrestleMania season is creeping up fast. WWE loves long-term builds, and they just set themselves up for one of the biggest women's matches imaginable. Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair. That's been the dream matchup since day one. Two powerhouse athletes, Two dominant personalities, mirror images of each other in many ways. But with Bianca currently recovering from her finger injury, WWE now has the perfect excuse to let Jade run wild for a few months. They can build her up as this unstoppable, ruthless, dominant heel who crushes everyone in her path. Then, when Bianca finally returns, the story writes itself. The hero returns to slay the dragon. That's not just good booking, that's smart booking. Now let's be real. WWE absolutely backed themselves into a corner with Jade's early booking. They didn't have a clear direction at first, but credit where it's due, this heel turn and title win saved everything. It gave her the edge, the confidence, and the dominance her character desperately needed. She's not just another talented wrestler anymore, she's the main event player on SmackDown. As for Tiffany Stratton, her reign might be over, but she didn't walk away looking weak. The story protected her. She went down fighting, injured, refusing to quit. That's how you make a champion lose without losing credibility. So now, WWE has what they wanted all along. A new monster heel running the division, a clear WrestleMania path, and a fan base finally buzzing about the women's title picture again. Jade Cargill's era has officially begun. But it's not just about the belt, it's about redemption. We spent months building her up, tearing her down, then rebuilding her again. And now, they've finally found the right version of her character. The calm, dominant, merciless Jade who doesn't wait for opportunities, she takes them. The question now is simple. Who's going to stop her? The locker room doesn't have many realistic options. Nia Jax already lost her shot. Tiffany Stratton will probably be out for weeks selling that knee injury. Charlotte Flair's schedule is still unpredictable. And Bianca Belair won't be cleared until early next year. That leaves Jade free to reign unchecked, to destroy everyone in her path, and stack up wins until the perfect challenger returns. That's exactly how you make a new Megstust. So yes, WWE had no other choice. They had to pull the trigger, and they did it at exactly the right time. They didn't just give Jade Cargill the championship. They gave her purpose. They gave her direction. And more importantly, they gave her power. Tiffany Stratton's reign might be over, but she helped create a new monster in the process. And when WrestleMania rolls around, don't be surprised when Jade Cargill is standing across from Bianca Belair, because that's the collision WWE has been teasing since day one. The unstoppable meets the unbreakable. The power meets the perfection. And it all starts here, with Jade Cargill's brutal, dominating win at Saturday night's main event. The message was loud and clear. Patience isn't rewarded. Power is. The Jade Cargill era is officially underway. But what do you think? Was this the right move for WWE? Did they time it perfectly, or did they pull the trigger too soon? And how long do you think this new era lasts before someone finally dethrones her? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the next few months in WWE's women's division are about to get wild. Did WWE really have any other option left? That's the question every wrestling fan is asking after what went down at Saturday night's main event. For months, we've all been on the Jade Cargill roller coaster.